All right, Jules, enough Ballon d'Or. How about some quick hits instead?
Let's go, Gab.
Cannot believe we're leading with this League Cup nonsense, but Jules,
you love it.
Manchester City with a very strong lineup.
Yeah.
I mean, you had Riley,
Strong.
Marcotti, and Ortega, obviously, but the rest are all very, very legit.
Phil Foden at force number 9. So
why can't he be a real number 9? Who knows? They get knocked out by Spurs. So we have to talk about them. We have to show Spurs some love.
Yeah, because they won 4 League Cups in a row, City, before. So that's a big shock to lose like that before the quarterfinals, I guess. They got done early by a Timo Werner goal. That doesn't happen very often. And then a shot from Sarr that I think Ortega should have saved. But I thought City played well. They lacked a bit of cutting edge. Maybe the fact that Haaland, who was sat on the bench the whole night, didn't even got up to go and warm up. Why would you take him down to London for that if you're not going to use him? I didn't really get that.
Is this the same Haaland who snubbed the Ballon d'Or ceremony because he didn't win?
His mate was winning the title for Malmo.
I thought that was awesome.
Priorities, obviously.
We joke, Haaland did not snub the ceremony. But it was interesting because Pep had said that, this was not a priority for them. It was the least of their priority. I thought we were going to see all those guys with the double-barreled last names and said no. He wanted to win.
Yeah, he wants to win, but he still looked quite relaxed the fact that he didn't win. Though. Milan fall at home to Napoli on Tuesday, Gab, with Theo Hernandez and Tijani Reinders suspended. We explained it on the show. Was it really necessary for Paulo Fonseca to also leave out Rafael Leao and Christian Pulisic?
No, it
felt
wasn't.
weird.
It felt weird. I don't know if this is maybe what you might call a scheduled loss. I hope it wasn't the case. I don't think Milan played badly, or if he really believes in sort of like the big family and all these guys are equal. But yeah, Okafor and Chukwueze aren't as good right now as Leao and Pulisic at their best.
Yeah.
Leao played the last half hour. I thought he did a couple good things.
Yeah.
I don't quite get it. Fonseca's getting absolute pelters right now, and a lot of people are saying, "Oh, look, you lost to Antonio Conte, Napoli, and Conte's a guy you could have had." I think Conte would have been 1,000% the wrong choice for Milan for many different reasons, which I've explained before. But shout out to Napoli. They keep cruising.
Such a Conte win. So early goal, just another one just before the break, and then you defend.
Shut up shop. More League Cup. Chelsea's B team lose at Newcastle 2-0. Jules, not a surprise.
No, not a surprise. Not a surprise that Maresca played his B team like he does in Europe, for example. But it's okay when you play in Europe against the team they face in the Conference League. And when you face a strong, almost full-strength Newcastle team, then it's obviously not the same. And again, early goals, really good Newcastle with the ball. At St. James's Park as well, very good Bruno Guimaraes. I just think there was not enough there for Chelsea to go and win this game or to even come back into the game. Would they care? I don't think so, right? Or should they have cared a bit more?
I think they do care if they want to break into. I don't think you want to get this early in the season. You want to send the message that, I'm not looking at you and you have no chance of breaking back into the team. I don't think Maresca's doing that.
No.
You still had, what I find interesting is Enzo included in this group, which
he started in Europe, as well.
Exactly. I mean, and obviously he's been dropped in the last 2 games. Yeah. So I wonder if there's something evolving there.
Yeah, maybe. Inter rolled past Empoli 3-0 as Lautaro Martinez becomes the club's highest goal-scoring foreign player. Gab, it helps to play against 10 men for over an hour.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does.
It was still 0-0.
And it was 0-0 at the time. Look, Inter aren't as good as they were last year. And I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that it's weird. I saw some stats. They press more, but they press less intensely, which suggests to me that they're getting a little bit older. Yeah. And obviously, I think the main thing is no Hakan Çalhanoğlu.
Yeah.
Earlier we went on and on about Rodri and what he does. Hakan Çalhanoğlu for this Inter side is really, really important. Yeah. When Zielinski or Asllani come in, they're just different sorts of players. Jamal Musiala backs a hat-trick and Bayern stomp all over Mainz in the German Cup. Jules, he's pretty good.
He's very good. I mean, they were 1-0 up after 30 seconds or something like that, and there was no game. There was just no game after that. They were far too good for Mainz, and he's far too good for Mainz too. And I think when he was injured, you felt it. You could see, even in terms of key moments in games, that they were missing him. So it's good for them that he's back to his best, really. Juventus have to come from behind to draw 2-2 against Parma on Wednesday night. Gab, the Thiago Motta roller coaster continues. One really good performance, one not so good.
We praised him to high heaven after the comeback against Inter, and now this was a really poor performance. I saw Parma played really well, and they have this guy Bonnie, and behind them,
Paris born and bred.
of course he is, and of course behind them, people like Dennis Mann. There's a lot of guys there with quality, but still, you should do better. Motta again making some curious choices. I don't know that this was a game for Danilo to start, and Danilo was poor, just because he had a rough time at the weekend.
Yeah.
Good news, Juve. Teun Koopmeiners coming on as a sub.
Yeah.
Your big summer signing is there. Good news also for American Juve fans.
Tim Weah.
Timmy Weah and Weston McKennie on the score sheet.
Up,
and combining for the first goal.
Yeah, exactly.
From bad to worse for Nuri Sahin at Borussia Dortmund. Jules, they lose in injury time to Wolfsburg and are out, OUT out of the DFB Pokal.
Yeah. Is that it then? Can you? I mean, this was when we talked about him on Monday and we said, okay, how bad the weekend was. And surely at some point something has to change, and you see no change. This was a usual Dortmund, Nuri Sahin. I mean, not just Sahin, because managers before him struggled with the same things. I just don't think he can turn this around at all.
I don't think you can sack somebody based on going out of the German Cup
but it's
when
not
you
just
give
that.
up a goal in the 117th
They're seventh
minute.
in the league.
But you have to look at the full picture.
Exactly.
And I'd be surprised if they weren't looking around.
Atalanta making 4 wins in a row after beating Monza 2-0 and moving up to third in Serie A. I think 6 points behind Napoli, Gab, or 5 points behind Napoli. But this was far from comfortable.
No, it wasn't. Monza, I thought, really played really well, kind of really had them. But again, substitutions change games. Atalanta have so much depth.
Their bench are always good.
They send on Lazar Samardzic, who I don't think has had a massive impact so far since coming over. He hasn't been getting in. But boom, that left foot that you and Tor Christian Carlson went on and on about when we were talking about, when we did our draft.
Remember that? Yeah,
yes.
That's true.
How about that? He scores a goal to send them on their way. Ethan Ranieri gets a start and scores as Arsenal win at Preston North End in the League Cup. 3-0, I think it was. Jules, I know he's only 17. But to me, he looks ready to be a regular in the Premier League too.
Yeah, I hear you, Gabby. I hear you. I agree with you. And sometimes I just don't. I'm just like, let's see. But then would you take a risk if you start? Okay. Doesn't have to be. I mean, this was the Preston game that it was easy. Arsenal made it easy. They scored early. There was not much to it. But I thought he was really good in that game. I thought every time he'd come on late in the Premier League, lately, he looked good too. He's got an amazing left foot, there's no doubt. He's very strong for somebody his age. So you're right. Maybe he's ready.
I mean, I think he's like. I think the reasons you wouldn't do it are reasons that we can't know. Which is, if he has a bad game, how does he deal with it psychologically?
Yeah.
Does he have the maturity? Look, nobody can know this. You don't know this. I don't know this. The only people who can assess it are the people who work with him every day. And some players need more time. It's just because
that's
certainly,
true.
but in terms of the actual skills and the athleticism and the intelligence on the pitch,
But then,
I mean, he's right there, right?
would you start him away at Newcastle on Saturday, for example? Early kickoff Saturday.
No, I wouldn't, because
So-
I'm conservative that
No,
way.
but I agree with you on that. So I think you're right. I think he might be ready, but maybe just pick the right game to
Exactly.
give him that. Real Madrid's game away to Valencia on Saturday is likely to be postponed, Gabby, following the flooding in Andalusia and the southeast of the country, which has left nearly 100 people dead.
Yeah, look, I mean, this is just awful. I mean, I don't want to make this political and talk about climate change, but it's pretty obvious what's going on. We had Bologna and Milan postponed just recently, and because of the congested calendar, who knows when this game is going to be replayed? I probably not for another 3 months.
Yeah.
Bayer Leverkusen bounced back with a 3-0 Pokal win over Elversberg as Patrick Schick scores twice. Jules, will Granit Xhaka be a little bit happier this time?
I'm not so sure, Gab. I'm not so sure at all. Simply because of the opposition that they faced. It was far too easy for them. They play Stuttgart this weekend on Friday night, I believe. And
It is Friday night. That is a really big
massive.
game. I think that is where we'll know
Exactly.
where they are.
Yeah, exactly. What time is it, Gabby?
It's Texter time!
Exactly. And Bloomberg report that his Eagle Football Group need to repay some $300 million. JT, what's going on?
Okay, so look, this is a bad thing. So let's start with a good thing.
Okay.
Botafogo are top of the league in Brazil.
Right.
I think they're 7 points clear.
They were last season and then they collapsed.
Okay, no, but they're not collapsing this time.
Okay.
I mean, unless the whole plot against them, blah, blah, blah. But we can't go there because, he's got legal action
gonna be
going on
angry,
there.
yeah.
So a couple of things here. This is the Eagle Football Group. It's not just him, right? This
No.
Michel Kang that we hear is a billionaire, who runs a, these are his business partners.
Yeah.
But they did borrow $300 million from Ares, which is a fund which has stakes in Real Madrid. I think they have a small stake in Chelsea as well. They're going to have to pay this money back. For me, the implication is if he needs to raise this money quickly, he's got to sell his shares at Palace.
Yeah.
And so the other shareholders are in a really, really strong position. And I was wondering too, people suggested, the Athletic reporting that Ares weren't too happy that he was trying to buy Everton too, because that would have really, really stretched him. And in the end, $900 million for Lyon. A lot of money.
Yeah.
Guess who's back? Back again. Anthony Martial, or Tony Marshall, as our colleague Rob Dawson calls him. He's on the score sheet after nearly a year.
I know. Scored his first goal yesterday in the Greek Cup for AEK Athens, where he plays now against Aris, 1-0, so the winning goal just before the break. It was his first start as well. He played 15 minutes and half an hour in 2 league games before. I mean, I'm happy for him. Obviously, we are happy for him. I know we made fun of him before, and I just don't know what happened. We've said it many times before. He was so good when he was younger. So one of the best I've ever seen at 15, 16 years old. And
I remember getting a call from an agent
what happened there.
Brings a lot of players from France to the UK when he was 16 and saying like he's well ahead of where Thierry Henry was at 16.
He was an absolute freak, man. But yeah.
Mbappe level at that age?
Yeah, definitely. I don't know what happened. And Gab, Al Nassr are out of the Saudi Cup and Cristiano Ronaldo had a rough night.
Yeah, so they lost to Al Tawoun, who are not one of those clubs that are stacked with super talented players. In fact, they're coached by Rodolfo Arruabarrena. Shout out to him. Tight game, 96-minute penalty to El Nasser, and Cristiano misses it. He puts it over the bar. He hit some kid in the stands who, okay, because it's a child, I'm not going to make fun of him. If it was an adult, I would have been like, dude, you're standing there holding your phone so you can film Cristiano's penalty from behind the goal.
Yeah.
The ball actually knocks the phone out of his hand, right? You're a child, you don't know any better. I've seen so many adults do this, and I'm going to say this now. You're all freaking losers.
Loads of people do that. It's a memory you keep. You were there in the stadium, you see the
But
goal.
not for a penalty.
Anything.
Come on,
you see
man.
Cristiano score, Messi score.
The dude's in Saudi. He sees Cristiano every week. Come on. By the way, speaking of, Al Nassr will need to be cheered up. Is that why you're flying over to Saudi Arabia to cheer them up?
Big derby on Friday against Al Hilal. So that's massive.
How
massive
about
Al
that?
Nassr against Al Hilal. So yeah, it'd be fun.